Hello, today we are going to see how to access XML data using isCOBOL Evolve. Exchanging XML data with other departments in the company or other partners is getting very usual these days. Therefore, it is important to know if it is possible and how to handle that XML data from a COBOL program. As you can see here, I have this members XML. This members XML is formatted in XML with XML tags. You can see the XML version in here. There is a main tag for a member list. So for this member list, I have several records, and every record is going to contain a first name, a last name, and the age. And so I have several records. So if I want to access this from an isCOBOL program, let me show you this sample over here. Using this samples demo that comes with the isCOBOL Evolve product, I go to the objects area and I'm going to explain the XMLStream object to do this. From here I can run the program or view the source code. If I show you the program running, this is the program running that basically is showing in this GUI control the same records, this John Doe and this Adam Smith, the same records that I have in the XML format. Basically, it is using a GUI control, a grid control to show those records. I can write more records here, add new records to this list, and then generate a new XML that includes the new records among the others. How is that done? Let me show you the source code for that. Here I have this window for the source code, and there are a few basic points to explain. The first thing is to include this special XML handling class. This is a variant isCOBOL class especially designed to handle XMLs. This is an alias for that class. Then using that alias I define a variable. The variable is an object reference of that class using the alias, and also I need to define this special group item. This group item is it is a COBOL group item that is going to hold all the records that comes from the XML. As you can see, there is a member list as well here, and the member list contains many records. It is many records because there is a occurs dynamic here, so it may contain 1, 2, 3, or whatever number of records. And for every record, there is a first name, a name, and an age, just exactly the same tags that I am using here in the XML. This is shown as a manually defined thing, but there is a special utility that we are going to see at the end on how you may generate this automatically from this XML definition. So having this, I can go to the procedure division and I can show you that basically using object-oriented programming, you set this object, the MyStream object, to a new object of the XMLStream class. This new object is going to use the XML member list group item to hold all the contents of the XML, as we have seen the definition of that. And then, once I have created a new object in memory to handle that, I can invoke for that object the read from file method. That read from file method, I pass the path to the XML. The path to the XML is a picx, including this whole path to the XML. And basically with this statement over here, I am loading the whole XML to the group item XML member list. Once I have it there, I can go ahead and load that information into the grid. Loading the information into the grid has nothing to do particularly with the XML handling. It is just a generic way of filling a grid GUI control. So we are not going to see that in detail. Now, when I want to write back the XML from memory, from the grid control to the disk file, I can use this paragraph over here, the write XML stream, and the most important thing to point here is the last statement. This MyStream object, I am invoking the write to file method. This write to file method, I explain I want to write back to this file, the same path XML that I have here, and this object has related the XML member list that I have in working storage, so it writes back. So if for instance I go back to the running program and I add a new record here, like Adele Wonders age 25, and I add the new record, then it adds the record here to the grid control. Everything I have done here has nothing to do with XML yet. This is just a normal GUI control, and these are some entry fields, and I am adding a new record to the GUI control. But now when I say generate XML, I am writing back the contents from memory to the path XML. So I can say generate XML here, and this is going to write back this file. If I go back here, it tells me the file has been modified, so I say reload the file, yes, and I can see now it contains a new record, and the new record is Adele Wonders and the age 25. And this is how easy it is to generate or to access XML data using an ISCOBOL program. The last thing is how to generate that special group item to store or to hold the XML contents, this one over here, without writing it manually. There is a utility. The utility is the XML to work. The XML to work utility. Let me run that utility and show it to you. The XML to work is this one, and the XML to work utility has this graphical interface. I say which folder I want to process, and then the output folder, and in there I have these three XMLs. I want to process the members only. I am going to unclick here and process the members, and I say generate these members, and it says it has generated the copybook that I needed, these members WRK. So if I now go to the folder, here I can see there is a new file, the members WRK, and if I double click in it, I am going to see the definition generated automatically. So it says it has generated this definition from this XML file, and it contains a member list, and it contains a record and a first name and so on, just similar as you can see here. And so you may generate this automatically and as well. So this is the demo. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a good day.